Massive Trump pump. Massive Trump pump. But if you have been following me, I have been letting you know that yesterday I said that we were looking at potentially a retracement at 90K, along with on Twitter, which is now X. I was looking at some of the billion-dollar shorts at Ethereum at 3240. And from there, we ended up banging through there and ended up going all the way up to almost 3,500. I was kind of bummed that I missed this massive move up from the 3,300 to the almost 3,500 because that happened freaking at 2 a.m., right when the Chinese market and the Asian markets were opening. But yeah, we did get that pullback on Bitcoin, and we've got this massive cup and handle that is pumping out, and realistically, the target there is around 110 to 140 in here. Let me show you what the first profit target was. Why is it not doing it? No, go there. Boom, boom, boom. We were right at that 1.6 Fibonacci level at the 90,000. And that, if we zoom in, that is where we are seeing. Let me remove the drawing and let me reset. So that is exactly where we are seeing some of the retracement from the 90,000 level. Because truthfully, if you think about this, markets, yes, there's so much AI in there, but how you can somewhat beat the big hedge funds is because it's all psychological. Okay. The AIs are programmed, the computer bots, the sell bots, the trading bots, they are programmed by human emotions. And what do humans like? We like even numbers. Okay. So really, there's typically, without having strong resistance on a line, this is a trading tip here. Because, you know, if you followed me over the last week and a half, I've made $21,000 doing this. And right now I'm just entered another position into, entered in about $120,000 in a position. And I'll talk about that just in a second here, because we have switched. We used to be short. Now we're trading in an uptrend. So really, anytime that there's red, it could be a day or two, we are going to catch something and then continue upwards. Where just a few weeks ago, it was the exact opposite, where no matter what you did, it was going lower and lower and lower. Okay. So if I look at the chart here, for the last 200 days or so, every time you bought in, it was going lower and lower and lower. And now we are switching upwards. Okay. So again, those even numbers, everyone likes those even numbers. So where would I see a retracement to Bitcoin coming here? Probably even numbers right around that, gosh, 85, and boom, where did we hit? 85 again, because there's nothing here to catch it. Okay. Because Bitcoin is in this new area. There's nothing to catch it. Normally you would say, all right, I was talking about that CME gap that never got filled. It could still get filled. Okay. And that gap is when the markets close on Friday and Monday opens, and we are already 10 grand ahead of where that gap was. Sure. Here is very, very strong support right here, but there is no support when you're in this upwards movement, right? Like if you were to say the first when Bitcoin was going, there was no support for stuff on its way to 60,000 for the first time. So you're looking at the even numbers, right? And that's exactly what price did. Was price ended up going to that even numbers. Do I think that was potentially it? I somewhat have a feeling that this 85,000 was the selling pressure that we needed. Not completely to resell. The next level that I would probably look at is now we're starting to create some support on the lower time frames. Okay. So I would say the next level for Bitcoin, just to be looking at to try to buy into, would be around the 81. Maybe 80,000 is definitely going to hold more support, because again, psychologically, those numbers, do I think that it's actually going to happen? Not entirely. I truthfully think that from 90,000 to 85,000 was a decent pause. Okay. But here, let me look at something differently now that I'm sitting here talking about stuff. And we've got a, hey dude, when do you think alt season is and what alts are you buying. I'm already locked and loaded on most of my alts, and I like high cap alts. Okay. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but here, I'll look at Dogecoin for just a second because Doge has been on a tear. I never thought that it would freaking get to $1, but now I'm starting to think the euphoric trend of just the memes, it might get to $1. But truthfully, the alts that I am buying, number one, are large caps. I like Solana. I absolutely love Ethereum, XRP, okay, Chainlink, TON. Haven't really bought any TON, but that is something that I'm looking at. But usually what happens is once profits are being taken from Bitcoin, it flows first into large cap alts, then mid, and then, you know, the bangers. But we've already seen bangers of Doge and them start pumping. But Doge at this point is a large cap altcoin, meme coin at that point. So it's going to happen, but I really think that it's not going to start until Bitcoin gets over $100,000, which could be by Thanksgiving. It more realistically would be by Christmas. Okay. But this has just been the Trump pump. And where was I going with what I'm talking about? Let's look at the liquidation heat map. Okay, this is an interesting chart because it kind of shows you where some of the support and resistance is going to be for crypto. And right now, there's not that much money. A lot of people are nervous about Bitcoin. People have hit major shorts right at $90,000. And I told you this a couple days ago or yesterday, that, hey, massive warning. Once we hit 90,000 even number, we're going to see a retracement. We did see that retracement. And usually right now in this trending market, people get liquidated. Over the last week, there's been over like $2.2 billion of liquidations on shorts because people have been expecting the bottom. Like, of the $21,000 that I made, I lost 4,000 of it because I was trying to short because I'm like, hey, 80K, this is where, that's that even number. And then, you know what? I had to quickly reverse and go, I need to go long, whatever my sentiment here is wrong. Because I say this on my Instagram and Twitter, that the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, right? Meaning it can go parabolic and go through everything that you have no rhyme or reason to. As strong as you think there could be support and resistance, could just go boom, just blow right through it. And that's what we have seen. So as of right now, my recommendation is trying to short a trending market is incredibly dangerous. In a bull trending market going upwards, okay, it's the same thing as far as a month or two ago trying to go long when we were just tanking. You're not on the side of the majority there. So you're going to more than likely lose your money. And this is not financial advice. However, if you are going to use leverage, I know I like ZoomX, I like Blowflin, I like Bybit, Mexi. Those are all very great platforms. I've got links for a couple of them in the description. But please do not use the max 150x, 100x. Take it from experience. I've been doing this for 4 years and I've lost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars before I started getting the hang of it. I've got over 300 books on my iPad and all sorts of stuff about stuff. And realistically, trading can be easy, but the thing that's difficult is your head, is the emotions. So to give yourself some room to breathe, start with 5x. I know a lot of guys out there might be trying to turn $100 into $1,000 or $20,000 or what. Okay. But think of it simply as, all right, I got $100. I can trade it like $500. And my stop loss, you put it in a place. So you're probably only going to risk 1 to 5% or so. That's what you should be doing. But over time, that'll build up. These guys that are trading and are freaking out. Ethereum just hit 2550 here. So, or 3250, just got a notification there. You got to use less leverage. All the screenshots of people using 90x or whatever, they got lucky. They're not going to show you the thousands or hundred thousands of dollars that they lost because of that. Let's look at Ethereum, because Ethereum has got more of a set, because it's not in its all-time highs yet. Okay. But there is nobody that is trying to short above 3,500, which is a good sign here. You know, the majority, we've got 3 times as many as far as leveraged money at 3,000. So that's where everybody is thinking the floor is on Ethereum. So if I look at Ethereum, I've got some lines here because this is the trade that I opened. Okay. I opened the trade at like 170,000. Well, no, truthfully, what is it? 120 is what I have. Small break. 140,000 I have in this trade at the moment. My target is right around the $3,500 mark in here. Let me show you that. For the reason being, let me reset the chart view so it's a little bit easier to say. So the volume, the massive floor is 2,600 for Ethereum. Don't think we're really going to get there again. Where we have dropped down is just this midway point in the range around 3,250. That's where we've been bouncing off of. There is decent support there, stronger support at 3,150. That's just this line here. And truthfully, my profit target is above the top green line here, is around, where are my drawings? Okay, is around this box. Okay, this is where I want to take profits on this trade before we get into above the 4,000. Okay, that's where my plan is I'm going to take some profits. This was a good retracement for me. I felt comfortable getting in here. The bottom I see for Ethereum is $2,800. Okay, that is where I'm looking at. When it comes to massive retail FOMO that's happening with the ETFs, because part of the reason why I believe Bitcoin has gone so parabolic is for 2 reasons. The Trump pump, we've got a legislation in the House and the Senate and the president that is not going to hold off on crypto stuff, just not block everything. It's going to be good. We're going to have a president that is going to buy more Bitcoin, buy 1 million potential coins to hold in reserve. But he won't be able to do that until January-ish when he comes into office. And he's going to get rid of Gary Gensler. He's even talking about having no capital gains tax on Bitcoin. How crazy would that effing be, right? Because we have another presidency that was saying that, hey, we want to have capital gains on unrealized gains. That would have just been ridiculous. So that is one of the reasons for the pump. The second reason is a lot of the big hedge funds, okay, BlackRock, all of these guys weren't able to buy the ETFs on their retirement accounts that have liquidity as far as they've got insurance. Okay. The FDIC and the SPIC up to 500,000, et cetera, with the insurance there. Cause you can have less risk buying Bitcoin if you buy those. Okay. And I own those. My daughter has that as well because she's not 18. She can't have a Coinbase account or a Binance account or anything like that, because I do believe in exchanges that have KYC, right? Because I don't want them to just go up in smoke like the FTX stuff. Right? That's a different story. I warn people about that well, but I'm a small channel. But if looking at this, okay, we have $1.1 billion of inflow yesterday, right? Holy freaking crap that they bought, big hedge funds bought over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. And over the weekend, retail investors couldn't buy the spot ETFs. The spot ETF is a 1-to-1, but it's inside of a wrapped around brokerage account or something that has insurance, right? Because that's the federal world that we live in right now with finance. Crypto is kind of off here where there's not much regulation. So therefore there's no insurance on it. So if you wanted insurance on your assets, you had to buy the spot ETF. Over the weekend, you could not. So what did you have to do? You had to go to exchanges like crypto.com or whatever to do that. And hey, that's pretty freaking cool, right? I appreciate it, homie. I really do. Thank you. What is my strategy to get out of the market? Okay. So trading wise, I only trade with, because I let me just answer this. Okay. So I do a lot of trading on my channel, but that is about 1% of my assets. Okay. Because I'm a freaking hodler. I'm a hodler. I don't like meme coins. Okay. I like large cap cryptos. My two biggest assets that I hold is Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin number one, Ethereum number two. Okay. And that makes up probably 80% of my portfolio. And then from there, I've got some mid lower cap coins that are still in the top 20. So they're technically large cap cryptos. Those are the guys that I plan on holding for extended period of time. So what I would probably start looking for, because with trading is very systematic. I'm a swing trader where I could potentially be a day trader, but I find these little areas of support and then I take it out. Okay. The market here is geared. We have just started, because here, let me look at this chart real quick so that you guys can see this as well. We have just started. Okay. We have just started the bull market. So we have a year of making life-changing money where you are going to feel, I'm telling you, you are going to feel like a genius trading. You are going to be like, hey, I threw money at Shiba and I doubled my money. So now I'm going to double down again. It works again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to triple down, right? Eventually, you're going to get caught and you're going to lose the majority of it. So first off is I'm going to look for when people get greedy. And number two is probably when I see Coinbase inside the top 10 on the App Store, maybe top 5, that is going to show, hey, retail is here. They're going to start thinking they're going to be able to make life-changing money. But I really don't think that's going to happen until Bitcoin is over 100, maybe even 120, 150 is really where I'm going to see. But if I'm just going from an overview, right, I think we have a bull market where wherever there is red and dips, we can make money up until around this time next year. Bull markets statistically last around 18 months. Okay. And for top signals, that's when your grandma is asking for money. But when it comes to the actual investments that I own, I'm never selling my Bitcoin. I'm never selling my Bitcoin. And for that matter, I'm probably never going to sell my Ethereum or anything because I am staking that. Okay. Because I'm making dividends off of it. And I have got a ideology of FU money, where if you want to live off 200 grand, you need 400. If you want to live off of 200 grand a year in basically dividends, you need $4 million, making around 10% a year for you. Very achievable in a market like this. But with trading, I will help you guys. Oh my God, boom, massive just tanking happen right now. Not horrible. Ethereum is catching support right here, which is decent here. But to finish my train of thought, when it comes to trading here, I'm going to tell you when I make mistakes. I'm going to tell you where I think things are going. And I just did. Bitcoin, I said, is more than likely, this is the dip we've been looking for. Do I think that this is going to be extended? Potentially. But as of right now, the probability looks as if this is just a stop in the market. Look at on the daily. We have, 6 hours left before this daily candle closes. And right now, this daily candle is a doji candle. It is a indecision in the market right now. So to me, with what has happened, that is a signal of boom. I'm betting it's going to go higher, right? That is my perception of what is going. Is this was the little pump or retracement that we needed to liquidate some longs where people are going, hey, 90K, I'm going to get in. And then they're going to use their 100x leverage and they're out like that. Okay. But the guys like you guys, because you guys are going to be smart traders, you're going to use 5x or less. I never go over 10. Okay. But I'll be honest with you. The current trade that I have, that's 140,000. It is at 6.5 leverage. That's just where I felt was the most bang for my buck here. But my trading rules are set in stone that I will not break them. No over 10. No over 10. Don't do that. Okay. I believe personally, again, not financial advice, but if you trade with 5x or low leverage, you can survive something that if you bought the top in these early stages, because we are going to get 10% corrections, maybe 20% corrections during this bull cycle. Okay. You will more than likely be able to survive those and make money if you're using 5 or less leverage. Don't do more. But that is my deal. Oh, okay. And then before I get off here, what about Cardano? I love Cardano. Charles Hodgkinson, uh, whatever his name is, we know who the founder is. He, after reading the Ethereum book about proof of stake, I had a little bit different feelings because Charles thought that he was Satoshi Nakamoto for a while, and he was telling people that. And yeah, he branched off of Ethereum, and so his layer one has the wherewithal to be incredibly popular, because I kind of like to look at it Apple versus Samsung. Okay. If you have to pick one, Apple's Ethereum. It holds the majority market share of the high-end user for cell phone and devices. And same thing with market cap. They're over $1 trillion. They were the biggest company in the world for a little while until NVIDIA took off. And now Tesla's in there too, over $1 trillion. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But I'm digressing. But Samsung, they have a place in this market as well, right? You need those competitors. And there's so many different analogies there with, somebody comes along with a good idea and then somebody capitalizes on it. That's kind of what Solana has done as well. I think they are all winners. I'm a big fan of Cardano. Cardano, I will be honest, is my third largest holding, right? Under Ethereum. Actually, no, it's my fourth. Solana is my third. Just thinking about it after this pump here, Solana moved up from there. But originally it was ADA. And with what Trump is going to do with help having Charles come into office and help him with a crypto regulation is all good news. Okay. But Charles made me feel a little off-putted when he decided to call himself Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay. But thank you for the answer. This is why I like your channel. You don't show only your gains, but also mistakes. Yeah. Here recently, guys, I made a big mistake. I made a big mistake before the Trump pump. Okay. Cause I got greedy, right? I didn't lose money. Okay. But I almost did. But again, using 5 or less leverage, I've been incredibly profitable with that. Yes, there's so much other risk involved in everything. There's another book that I'd like everybody to read. It's what is the title off the top of my, The Biggest Loser Wins. Here, let me look that up real quick. So you guys know. Best Loser Wins. Excuse me. This book is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Get it on Audible. Get it. Just read it. Okay. Because it tells you about psychology. Okay. Because trading is fairly easy to be able to read numbers. If you guys look at my charts, like I do have a market cipher. CryptoPhase gave me market cipher to play with. And I've yet to really, really use it because I'm more successful with less stuff on my charts. I like simple indicators, MACD, stochastics, moving averages, and just support and resistance lines and looking at fundamentals and trends. Okay. I don't need a diamond to point to be like, oh, I'm going to go all in. It's not that easy. Number one. Okay. I will show you. I love candlesticks. I will continue to teach you guys about candlesticks. To me, this candle, it can change, right? Because like I said, what is the time frame before this candle closes? On 5 hours, 6 hours. Okay. This candle here could instantly tank, and turn into an engulfing candle where it's like, I was wrong. Okay. But as of right now, this looks like a doji. If it was to close right now, a confirmation would be a little bit higher, which hey, the bull market is still on. This trend is still going. Of course, the bull market is still on, but okay, if you're wanting to front run, this is looking as if looking at the lower time frames, trying to get in at a decent price. Here, we've got it's a reverse shooting star. So it's almost a hammer candle. The next one is definitely a hammer candle. Those are very bullish reversal candles. Okay. You see this guy at the top of a trend, it can kind of be a reversal. Okay. If I'm looking here, the 4 hourly is giving me the same vibes. Okay. The daily, the weekly. Here, let me look real quick to just, where is the sentiment going? Okay. And we on the weekly are entering to be oversold. That's kind of a a warning sign. But look here. You can be oversold for an extended period of time. So you can't just use one indicator to tell you that, hey, it's instantly going to reverse. It's instantly going to reverse. We were oversold for 175 days, right? So it can continue to go up exponentially, right? And then Tony says, I choose Cardano over ETH. And I will ask you this, why? Is it just because Cardano is less than $1? Just because something is cheap doesn't mean it's a good investment. Ask you that. But also, right, when it comes to investing versus trading, I don't give a shit what I trade. If the chart looks good, I will trade it. Okay. My fundamentals don't have to be there for trading because I'm only going to hold on to the asset for hours to a week, maybe a month, right? Maybe. It's been rare that I've held on to a trade that much because I don't like paying for fees. Because when you're playing with margin, you got to pay for fees. And on the 140 grand that I have right now, I'm paying about $100 a day in fees to borrow the money, right? That's something you got to consider as well. But fundamentals is what's going to hold conviction. And that's what's going to make it to where you make money in this market, right? You got to have massive conviction. You can't just buy something because somebody says, hey, you should buy this because it's going to go to the moon, right? Well, it could be a pile of dog shit. And do you really want to keep that around for a while? No. But if somebody's willing to pay more for it, maybe for a couple weeks or so, that's a good idea. But you're not going to marry that, right? So your investments, you marry. Your trading, you treat it. This is going to sound really bad. You treat it like a hooker, okay? You use it and then you get out, right? And that's the ideology that you have to have while trading is you're not marrying position. And the last little tidbit that I will say right before I get off the stream here is if you start looking at your phone and you see the profits and you're like, I have to screenshot this. I'm euphoric about it. That to me is a sell signal. Your emotions are telling you something that you are happy with the gains that you had. Yes, your greed may want it to go up higher, okay? But there's a difference between perception and reality. You got to ask yourself, would you feel better about taking profits now and seeing it go higher? Or would you feel really bad about not taking profits and it goes to zero, right? That's one of the reasons why you should look at some of those books about psychology. Because again, numbers go up. Numbers go up and down. This stuff is very simplistic and easy, right? The hard part, the reason why 99% of people make zero money is because they fall into two categories, fearful or greedful, right? That can be FOMO both ways. Okay. So that's something to kind of do your homework and think about it here. But no, all the altcoins right now, especially in the top 20 or so, are still down 40% or more. Ethereum, my favorite, right? The one that I really, really like is sitting at 3,250 and its all-time high is 4,800. It's about $5,000, right? So it's still 40% from its all-time high, where Bitcoin is 20% over its previous all-time high of around the 68%. Okay, maybe that's more like 13%, but anyway, you get my understanding. Anyway, this is Johnny Crypto. Till next time, I'm here to help you guys make some money. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you for liking and sharing and joining the stream. I will continue to bring good info and information to you guys and help answer your questions. And Marcio, I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much for that. Once I get more, I'll probably end up giving away all the super chats to help everybody out to start their trading journey. So I appreciate you, and that's what I'll do for my supporters. Appreciate you. Till next time. I want to say brop, but we're gonna just say cha-ching. I don't know. Anyway, enjoy your guys' day.